So, brother, I know you've been waiting to talk about this since we started this whole interview. Talk to me, man. Talk to me about these books, the Nur Al-Din series. And you self-published these books, right?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah, mashallah, tabarakallah. So, talk to me about the series and talk to me how it was with, advertising on your own because, as you self-publish, you don't have people doing your advertising. That's all you. And how was the reception and what did you goal for the future with these books?
Yeah, so definitely the advertising part is takes a lot of legwork, right?
Mm,
When you're self-published, you don't have a company behind you that's promoting you. And
right.
that's also market amongst your network. But they pump a lot of money in putting your book out there in bookstores, Barnes and Nobles, getting book reviews from top newspapers, magazines. Being a writer isn't necessarily a business a business endeavor. It's more of a creative endeavor. And so a lot of people who are very creative with writing and or art or whatever, there's a merging of the two that is needed. And able to market my books is I started off with my immediate network. So I held a book signing event at my masjid.
Mm,
That was my first kickoff event, and also social media. Whatever followers I had, I promoted my book, and I told people share it, retweet, whatever it is, and that was my initial kickoff.
mm,
But after that initial kickoff, usually things start to die if you don't find new ways to promote them.
right.
So one way I figured that out was to identify book reviewers online and send them free copies of your book in exchange for a review. So I was able to get a lot of interest that way. And you just need exposure really. Like once you've done the work, once you've written the book or done the project that a book takes about like at least a few months if you're quick.
Mm-hmm.
It could up to like years. So once you've done that task, it's really about getting the word out. Um, and you have to be you have to do your best to get your book in the right hands because there's so many people that appreciated my book, like young people, even some older people. But how would it have ever gotten in their hands if I didn't find a way to promote it?
Mm-hmm.
So if I think that, for me personally, it was hard to promote myself because I don't like to, talk about myself or talk about what I'm doing. I like to more like work low key and just let my work speak for itself. But you really do have to, get a little bit out of your comfort zone. Um, because think about it this way, if you're like me and you don't like promoting yourself, think about it this way, you've put in all this work to create a good product. Um, there's people out there, whether you're writing for kids or adults, there's people out there who deserve to see the fruit of your labor.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's they're going to benefit from it. And I've gotten a lot of emails and messages of, or even pictures of boys like 12, 13, 14 who are just like very excited about my books. And it definitely puts a smile on my face, but it makes me think about it like, I alhamdulillah, I was able to at least benefit one, two, three, four, you know, I was able to benefit some people with this work that I did. And and so really you just have to think about it that way. If you came at it with the right intention,
Mm-hmm.
then you know, promote it and put it in the right hands.
Man, yeah. SubhanAllah, that's beautiful. I really appreciate hearing that. And it's beautiful because whenever you do something and you benefit somebody, you just have that good feeling. You just have that good feeling inside, like, man, SubhanAllah, I helped somebody. I did something beneficial for somebody else. It's just an amazing feeling inside. But in addition to that, especially when it's something beneficial and rewarding, you help somebody else with it, and then you get the sadaqah jariyah, you get the reward that keeps on going for every single time they mention or think about what you encourage them to do, or anytime they do it themselves. And I'm sure the books are jam packed with reminders and things that fill these young minds with the pride of, I'm Muslim, this is something that
Yeah,
I identify with, like Allahu
yeah,
Akbar.
yeah,
Like, it just gives them that pride and that confidence and that good
yeah.
feeling. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you and increase you for that, man. I mean, that's a That's a major, that's something that we really need in our communities. We need things and different aspects that make people feel proud to be Muslim. Like we need to have our own media sources, like Muslim media sources, so they're not just like, oh man, look at all these people having all this fun, look at all these famous people and celebrities, this is their lifestyle. But like, what about the Muslim lifestyle? Why don't we have people promoting these Islamic lifestyles and whatnot and making it seem fun and enjoyable? Because yeah, we're Muslim. There are some restrictions, but we can still have a lot of fun. We can still have a lot
Yeah,
of fun in the halal way and get rewards for it, right? Because that's what we
yeah,
need people to promote. That's what we need people to do, and not just people who are just going to be like, oh, yeah, I got a Muslim name, but then they see all this content, all these other things that they're doing. It's just like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't really identify with that. I was like, yeah, we could tell, we could tell, man. We see all the things, all the content that you have in your video and the way that you're talking and everything, and it's not to say, not to expose anybody or anything like that, but when you're putting yourself out in public with certain behaviors that clearly go against Islam, then your actions spoke for themselves. Not
hmm,
to say that this is all this person is limited to. This is all this person does. This is their connection with Allah, because Allah knows their connection. Allah knows their intentions. But we do have to be aware of what we put out in public, because
yeah,
those actions can encourage other people in a good way or a bad way, and then that
yeah,
always comes back to us, whether it's with good deeds or whether it's with sins. Right? Whatever we leave in someone else's heart, whatever we encourage them to do, we have to be
yeah,
careful with what we put out, because that's going to affect us.